this video, we're reviewing the AEW Supreme Collection Will Ospreay figure, man. Very excited for this one. We got this revealed to us a long time ago, but we actually got a mint on card. We got new product images of this back at Comic-Con this summer. We were there in person. They did a little vignette with Will Ospreay. Very sweet deal here. Very excited to get into this Supreme, and this could be the last Supreme that we see from AEW and Jazwares. We don't know that for sure at the time of recording this, but with the longevity of the line still up in the air, we know we're getting figures through 2026. We don't know anything beyond that at this point. This could be our last Supreme figure. I don't think there's any on the books or any, supposedly coming out. You can let me know if I'm wrong or if I have misspoken right there and I'm just forgetting one off rip. Let me know down in the comment section. We were supposed to get Bucks forever ago and we never got them, which really disappoints me. But today, we're going to be looking at Will Ospreay, and this could be the definitive Will Ospreay action figure, man. I'm very excited. You can see his name down there. I've always been a huge fan of this packaging. I don't know what it is. I just think this is fantastic. But you got the AEW Supreme logo up there, and we get these big square boxes. These are available at Ringside Collectibles and Jazwares Vault. So Supreme figures are no longer going to be pushed to retail. They're going to be going to Ringside Collectibles and Jazwares Vault. So they're kind of a 2-in-1 exclusive there. And I think I ordered one from Ringside, and then I did have a lot more over at Jazwares Vault because I wanted to get one mint on card. This one will be unboxed here today, but yeah, I definitely wanted to keep the mint on card Supremes. They're just beautiful, man. They look so good. I love the entrance stage here with Will Ospreay, but we're going to spin it to the side. You can see it's got its accessories stowed to the side. Got number 10, Will Ospreay Series 7, and then we do have Will Ospreay on the back with his signature, looking pretty damn good. And then you flip it around, and then you have his other gear, some other alternate stuff going on, and I think this is a damn good-looking Supreme, but we won't know what the full story of this guy is without unboxing him. So that being said, man, let's unbox Will Ospreay Supreme figure, find out what he's about, and see how he fits into our AEW Supreme and the rest of our wrestling action figure collections. So here is Will Ospreay out of the packaging, and my God, man, I'm pretty blown away. Now, of course, we've seen the images. We knew about this figure coming out. We knew what to kind of expect, but I think this one kind of goes above and beyond that. And we're gonna get into that. Is this going to be the best Will Ospreay action figure ever made? We're going to get into that. We're going to compare it to his other two AEW figures, his Unmatched figure and his Shop AEW one that we reviewed as well. So that will be really fun. I can't wait to get into the comparisons of that, but we could be looking at one of the better wrestling figures this year. We're going to find all that out today. But man, what an impressive piece so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But with that being said, man, let's get into the accessories you get with this Supreme Will Ospreay, and then we'll dive into Will Ospreay himself. So we're getting into the accessories you get with Will Ospreay, man, and I think it's important to note, if you do not know how these Supremes work, basically, you get a slew of accessories, and then you get two different interchangeable gears. So we're going to look at both these gear options for you, and then we will take a look at what it looks like from far away or whatever, but let's get into this first one. I know technically this isn't necessarily an accessory, but I do want to get in here and look, man. I mean, look at how detailed these tights are. Look at the paint apps, and it's not really, it's paint apps, but it's not. I think this is that, I don't know what they call it. It's like DCG, TCG, DC, it's not trading card game. It's like DCG or something, and they screen print it on there, and there's just so much going on here, man. So much going on. You have silver, black, white, gold, green, purple, all kinds of shish through here. You'll notice every time I look at this, I see something new, but all the lines look good, if you line it up there. But you got the white knee pads with the gold and the purple. this is sick as hell. Great gear choice. Great gear choice. I think that it's very clean. You even have the white feet down there, the black feet with the, the kick pads sculpted over there, which just looks so nice, man. And if I had to pick a gear, I think I like this gear over the other, which is going to be this kind of green and gold, black and white. This one kind of reminds me of Notre Dame or something, and then this one kind of reminds me of New Orleans. I don't know why. That's just the kind of vibes I get here, but you can see the two gears side by side. Got these stripe patterns going on. You can take a good analysis of the gear. And, basically, the torso isn't necessarily included as an accessory, but you'll have it on here, and we'll take a look at this in a moment, but, you have the figure here, and you're like, oh, I want to switch the gear, and you just pop this off the ball joint, and then you go over here to the green gear, and you pop this on there. And that's how you do that. So very, very cool. I love this gimmick. I've always been a big fan of the Supremes for this reason. And I just think they add so much. This also incentivizes people to pick up two of them because then, you can get a Will Ospreay in this gear, you can get a Will Ospreay in another gear. So it's basically a 2-in-1, sometimes a 3-in-1 figure. And I think that's fantastic. But we'll take a look at the tights with the body and everything in just a moment. But I want to get into the rest of these accessories. And the most absurd accessory in this entire deal has to be this entrance jacket coat deal that has so much going on with it that it is one of the most absurd wrestling action figure cloth goods accessories I've ever seen, man. There is so much going on here, from the faux white fur here, the gold fur and tassels coming down here. There's also some black, I think, around, yeah, right here. There's some black fur on this side coming into the wrist cuff. This sleeve right here even has molded chains on it, and they're not loose or anything. They are kind of, molded plastic. But then look at these little rings that are on here that are actually sculpted in, and they're almost like pins, and it just looks so high-end. It's crazy. It even has a hood on there. You're getting a similar pattern with the green and the gold and the black. It just reminds me of some high-end rug that you would find in a mansion overseas or something. I mean, it's just absurd. And then you have these yellow and green tassels coming down. Some of them are shiny, some of them aren't. There's just a lot of craftsmanship put into this, and every time I look at it, I see something new. It's just ridiculous, man. Almost looks camo right through here, like snakeskin looking, but then you have this gold on the inside. Now, I have seen where, on this sleeve it's white on the inside, but on this sleeve it's black, and I've seen where some people have been getting staining on there, which I cannot confirm. I did not have any staining on mine, so hopefully yours won't either. But it's very hefty as well. No bendy wire or anything, but my God, man, I don't know how you could complain ever about this. This is kind of the stuff that collectors want, man. I mean, this is a piece that, you put this figure on your shelf, you have this jacket on there, it's going to be the centerpiece of your shelf. It just looks so damn good, and it's crazy. Just crazy high-end jacket. It reminds me of Asuka's robes and just, I don't know, almost like a pirate robe or something. It's just crazy how good this is, man. Absurd. And you get it packed in here with this awesome figure with 2 gears. I mean, there's a lot of value here in this Will Ospreay Supreme. And then we got to get into the interchangeable head sculpt. So we do have this new smiling head sculpt. I like this one a lot. I like how wavy the hair is. The beard sculpt's nice. The smile looks good. This looks just like Will Ospreay. I don't know how you could possibly complain about this head sculpt. And what's cool is we're getting 3 new head sculpts. So you kind of have this serious face that I just dropped all the way on the effing floor. But again, really strong likenesses. I like how pissed off he is. The hair is slightly different too. They're not reusing the same hair. So you get kind of a wet, curly look, and then you have kind of a, I don't know, the same kind of deal going on there. Just, man, what a great likeness on these. And then maybe my personal favorite is the yelling one. I think all 3 of them look like Will Ospreay. They all have a great likeness. The hair sculpts are great. I love all 3 of the head sculpts. And honestly, in the promo images, I didn't think they looked as good as they do here. I think all 3 of these look better than they did in the promo images, which is a very rare thing, I feel like. And then outside of that, you do get a pair of mic holding hands. You get a pair of Will Ospreay signature hands, or the thwipping hands, so you can web shoot and, swing around the city and fight crime. Then you do get a pointer finger on the left hand, and then on the right hand, you get kind of that Kenny Omega off shooter hand, kind of the offhand. The one hand will be shooting, and then you have that offhand for the goodbye and goodnight style deal there. But that is it for your interchangeable hands. No fists on this guy. All right, man, we're getting into Will Ospreay. Let's start at the top of the head sculpt. I do like this head sculpt, and we'll get into some comparisons with the Shop AEW one and different stuff like that. We will do a comparison, but I like these head sculpts. I think that they're solid. I think they have likeness to the character, and that's really all you can really ask for here. But yeah, man, I like it. I think it reminds me of Will Ospreay, but it does look to me like the head sits a little high on the neck, maybe. Maybe if you drilled into it, it could sit a little lower, but do have the torso here. You get the butterfly joints, of course. Standard arms that are pinless. You get white wrist tape over there. You do get the black elbow pad, which I like, and he does have all of his tattoos over here, which is pretty damn sweet. They look good. I like the placement of them. All of that looks really good to me. You got the white wrist tape again, like I said. I love the elbow pad, too. It fits well. It's snug. It doesn't hinder articulation. Very nice there. And then here's the gear that we were taking a look at earlier in the accessory. So you're getting all of that there, but it is attached to the body now, which I really like, man. Just, golly, just so deco heavy. It's insane how much they have packed in here. But I will show you what the other gear looks like from far away when we get into the comparisons. But what we have to do now is get into the articulation. And you guys know as well as I do, with the head sculpts of the AEW Supreme figures and all AEW figures, you get this ball hinge so he can look down quite a bit and he can look up quite a bit, which is just magnificent. We need that in WWE Mattel, and apparently that is coming down the line. You get a little bit of head shifting right there. You get an upper ab crunch and a lower ab crunch, both of that. So it's a double ball for the waist and the abs, and you get a really good ab crunch right there. You can also go way back right here, so if you guys want to do that, you can do that. Shoulders do go above 90. They also get full rotation. You get bicep cut. You get a double jointed pinless arm. You get hinge and swivel in the wrist. You do get a nice butterfly joint that does indent not only in the upper chest, but in the middle and lower. So you're getting a really good butterfly joint that goes all the way across, which I think is magnificent. Like, look at that. He can pretty much cross his arms, which I think is really damn sick. I think that's awesome. And they can come way back. So that is really incredible. You love to see that. But he is on ball joints, so you can kick forward there, and you're not getting snap back and forth syndrome, so that's good. And go out to the side for a super kick, upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knee there. And then you do get kick pad rotation. The feet go up and down. You get the toe pivot, and you get ankle pivots. So you get a ton of articulation out of these guys. The Supremes are so great. The only thing that kind of hinders them is they can get loose, but I'm not getting any of that so far with this guy. But I do want to get in some Will Ospreay figure comparisons, and then we will also take a look at the other gear as well, full body. So here's the Will Ospreay figure comparisons. This is all of our other Will Ospreays from AEW and Jazwares, and you can see here that this is the same head sculpts, but if you zoom in right here, you can see the differences. I like both of these. I almost feel like this one gets a little bit more, but you do get a different hairstyle right here, you know. But I like both. I mean, I think they both resemble the character, but this one didn't have his tattoos and such, so I don't know if you wanted to do a head swap. Maybe this is something you want to do. Let's see if you can put the unmatched head on here. Yeah, see, this one sits a little lower, and I like the way that looks right there. But then if you want to put the Supreme heads onto the unmatched, see, this is what I think this is going to sit too high, man. I'm telling you. It's not egregious, but yeah, it just sits too high for me. I don't know. I like the way that this sits on here. Even though it's too loose, you can see it's loose. It still looks better to me. I don't know. And then I guess if you want to, we can pop off this so you can see what the Supreme would look like on the Unmatched. If you guys wanted to do that, that could be an option. And then boom, you can put that on there and then have a different Will Ospreay take if you want to do that. That looks pretty good as well. And then if you want to see the other gear, that looks pretty nice as well. I definitely like the other gear better, but that's pretty sweet. I don't hate that. You also notice that the Supreme is standing a little bit taller. Maybe a little too tall, to be honest, but there is your Will Ospreay figure comparisons. Or if you want to do it, let's do one more head swap here. If you want to put the Supreme heads on the Shop AEW, it just doesn't sit as low as I'd like, but it does look okay, I guess. I don't know. I think this standard head sculpt, yeah, I think it just has a deeper neck peg or peg hole. So for some AEW Supreme figure comparisons, here we have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Will Ospreay, Malachi Black, and Kenny Omega. And you'll see the Will Ospreay definitely stands a little taller, man. I don't know. I don't really know how to swerve that. He has the same torso as the Cody Rhodes. He just has a lot more accurate, saturated, more realistic skin tone. He's not as gray looking. And actually, CM Punk has the same torso as well, so I don't know. I don't know, man. He is a little tall, I think, because isn't Will Ospreay like, or is he accurate? I don't know. I do like the way the figure looks, though. I really don't have that many gripes here. And then for a WWE Ultimate Edition figure comparison with this Will Ospreay Supreme, if you want to mingle among the stars, we do have the Seth Rollins Ultimate Edition, the Roman Reigns Ultimate Edition, the Cody Rhodes Series 21 Ultimate, and then we do have the Finn Balor Series 24. And, I mean, I think it's just crazy to have ultra-articulated forms of realistic wrestlers right here, man, of some of the top talents in the world. I mean, you throw the Kenny Omega Supreme in that. We just have so many fantastic wrestling figures, man. And I know they have their flaws here and there. They're not perfect. Nobody bats 1,000, but damn, son. A Will Ospreay Supreme, this articulated with these amount of accessories and details, then you throw it in with all these other talents we have, it just makes me vomit at how nice it is. It's crazy, dude. What an insane, just absurdity. Oh my god, I'm exhausted. It's like freaking 3 a.m. and I gotta do a whole news video after this. Love you guys. But at the end of the day, that about wraps up our Supreme Will Ospreay figure, man. Let's start it out, man. Let's get into everything I like and dislike about this figure. Starting out with the head sculpts, and we'll just work our way down, man. I think all three head sculpts are really strong. I actually like all of them. They're all three brand new. I think the hair sculpt is nice, and I like them, man. I think they look good for the most part. I really don't have any issues with them. I think the beards look good. I think the facial expressions look good. I do think that the heads sit a little tall on the torso. I think they're a little long or something. There's something there that is throwing me off. I don't know exactly what it is. I think the head just sits a little high. You could probably fix it, but I don't know. It may not bother you all that much, but I like the torso. You know, you do have the butterfly joints in there. You got the tattoos, which look great. I think that the two gear options are sweet. The green and gold and white is very, very clean, but I think this gear is my favorite gear. I like the kind of New Orleans looking gear, and I know it's not supposed to be New Orleans. I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. When I look at it, I think of New Orleans or the Pelicans, whatever. You got that purple, that gold, the green, the white. It just kind of stands out to me there. But I like both gear options. I think they're great. I think that the entrance coat is ridiculous. The entrance coat is ridiculous. It's one of the most ridiculous pieces. And I thought that his Shop AEW figure was ridiculous with the entrance coat. I thought that Asuka's robe was insane from WWE and Mattel in the Ultimate Edition. This piece is really insane. I don't know how we're getting this figure for $35 or $39, whatever it is. They have completely outdone themselves with this coat, man. And it's going to make me really miss the Supreme line if we don't get any more figures here, because this figure is a standout. It really is. I think it poses well. It's very fun to shoot. I mean, Will Ospreay is a damn magician in the ring. You know, the way he flies around. I mean, he is just so fun to shoot because of his crazy moveset and everything. So that was a lot of fun. It's just a fun figure overall, man. I would say this is the best Will Ospreay you can buy. I think that overall it feels a little bit better in hand than his other figures. I felt like the feet of his other figures don't stand as well, and I think that this one doesn't get as loose in comparison to his other ones. Now, do with that what you will. I just think that this is the overall best for your money, for the value you get here with this Will Ospreay. I don't know how you're going to deny, man. This figure is a beast. I like it a lot. I think if you're on the fence, don't be, man. This is a stud. I have noticed also that the paint will chip off of the tights if you pose this guy around a lot. I was getting some paint chipping on the thighs when you raise up those thighs and they're rubbing on the crotch joint and stuff like that. Sometimes that'll happen, but man, I had a lot of fun with this figure. I think it's worth it. You guys can let me know what you think down below, but man, Will Ospreay Supreme is the definition of Supreme. It is top notch. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, if you want to grab this Ringside Collectibles, use code MD Toys, or you can go over to Jazwares Vault. Now, I don't know if they're in stock right now. I would imagine they are, but I don't know that for sure. You'll have to go over there and check that out for yourselves. But I'm getting the hell out of here, man. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'd love to know your thoughts down below. And a huge shout out to the Patreon members, man. Thank you guys so very much for your support as always. You guys are such a blessing. I appreciate you, man. But that is going to wrap it up for me, man. Hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next video. We also have action figure news dropping in an hour or two, so you may see that up on the channel as well. So you can have an eye out for that. But I'm getting out, man. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.